actually not surprised that Mr. Muhammad Buhari is seeking to run for the second term. And this is so because if you look at his body language and all the activities going around, which people close to him have been doing over time, and the activity also taking place in the party where there are clear violation of the constitution of the party by some office holder who want to hold on to power, and then he tolerated it until there was a public outcry and people began to, say a lot of things before he was able to call for a next meeting of the party to reverse that fundamental unconstitutional act that was conducted by the party. So, but to come back to your question, is that I think Mr. President have the constitutional right to seek for re-election, and then if his party feel that his performance is enough for them to go to the poll and then test their popularity, then we wish them luck. So, and then it's about what he did is not outside the constitution, it's within his right as a citizen of Federal Republic of Nigeria to contest. But then the question we should be asking is that what are the issues that are going to dominate the campaign towards 2019 electionary period? Has he performed? Has he performed enough? Has he had any performance to showcase to Nigeria that yes, he has done well and he deserves a second time? So these are things that we are going to be seeing coming out during the election period. Well, if you ask me, I will tell you no. And when he came in, he came under three agenda. That is number one, the fight against corruption, job creation, and the fight against insurgency. And of course, the bulk of this insurgency and insecurity is in the northern part of the country where I come from. We can see that we expected, because during the campaign we were told that within 3 months this insurgency will be brought to its knees and even completely end it. But 3 years into the administration, we still see them attacking with capacity to go and move gears from their school to a hidden place, and after negotiation, those gears got released. And there are many places in those war-torn area that have not been rebuilt. The place has not been secure for people to return back to their normal life. And so to this extent, we can say that little has been achieved, but much more could have achieved given the quantum of money that is being given to the military to end this insurgency. Then, outside the northeast, the theater of Boko Haram, when you come to the northeast west, where that is Kaduna, Zamfara, and those as you will now begin to see the escalation of activity of kidnappers, armed robbery, cattle rustling, and then armed banditry. So this has gotten to a peak during this very region, and has thereby compromised the security of those areas. This escalation of this kidnapping in the northern part has seriously compromised the security in those areas. And you can see in Zamfara State, there are many communities where people no longer live, because in the night, these people will go almost on a daily basis, killing sometimes up to 150 people. And it doesn't make headlines. And because of that, the authority in Zamfara and the federal government feel reluctant to act decisively to end this madness, thereby coming with all the consequences. One is that in those areas, children don't go to school because people have moved out, people have lost jobs because people have not been farming in many of those areas for over 4 years now, and thereby displacing so many people. And then you can also move around those areas freely like we used to. Virtually no place is safe in the northern Nigeria. So if you take his promise of bringing about security and securing all the area, then you can see that there is a serious work that needs to be done. So during election, I wish to see what they are going to tell us that they have done or they have not done, which has led to the escalation of this. Then coming to issue of job creation. Today in northern Nigeria, we are the most backward, we are one of the poorest, and then all the indices of development has actually, you can see it visibly around us. An organization which I'm working with, which is Arewa Research and Development Project, we understood clearly that it's no longer beneficiary to any part of the country to say that once you have son of the soil at the top of the political office, your problem will be solved automatically. We realize that, and then we recognize that the only way you can solve your problem is when you have deliberate, in-depth agenda that will respond to many of those challenges, and then we come up with what we call stand document, that is strategic agenda for northern development, and which we have collaborated with state and non-state actors, and how we can work together and deal with many of these issues. Then when you come to the issue of economy, it's the same thing. So there's no job that has been created. People have been, many jobs has even been lost due to the insurgency and what have you. So fundamentally, if you ask me, we have not fared well under the administration of Mr. Muhammad Buhari. That is why about 3 weeks ago, the northern groups, and northern groups here mean main organizations, both religious, youth, women, trade unions, and the rest of them came together under a seminar to explain all that has happened in the last 3 years, to say that we have not fared well, and to also say that all the office holders, that is at all level. Here at all level means from the councillors, chairmen, governors up to the president. Many of them have not performed to expectations. So we are not going to be concerned about individual, because we have seen what that has caused us in the case of President Muhammad Buhari. Nobody will be taken for a fool anymore, but it's equally important. If, for instance, they have been sleeping and we wake them up from their slumber, there's nothing wrong about it. So if we are able to achieve that within the remaining 1 year, that will be fine. But fundamentally, we recognize that one of the major problems that we are having in the North is the leadership recruitment process. The political parties, the system that bring about these leaders, that is the delegate system in the party. And you know what's happened in most of these parties is that the highest bidder always gets us the vote. So we are taking a conscious effort to see that these kind of things have changed. And we have what we call Arewa Initiative for Good Governance, which came up with a template of what to expect in whoever is going to represent us at all levels. It has to be somebody who is knowledgeable, who is competent, who understands the work that is aspiring to go. And then we are mobilizing people all over to go into those political parties. We mean people who are educated, people who have the energy, who have the capacity. So we told them to go and get involved at the primary stage of the party, so that they can get elected into those delegates. So they now have the capacity to see whether if somebody will be fit into an office or not, and thereby mobilize and help sensitize his colleagues to bring us people who are capable of representing us at all levels. So with this, I don't think it's going to be easier for anybody to take the north for a ride like it has happened in the past. And we have also have something to show now in terms of the record or the performance of those who are in position of authority, to compare the amount of money they have gotten and to compare it to what is physically on ground to see. And then the many bad things they have allowed to happen to our people, like in terms of insecurity, poverty. People cannot feed. Today in Nigeria, people are not safe. They cannot sleep with their eyes open today in northern Nigeria, and then so many of these things. So these are what is going to determine or change the dynamics of the politics of 2019. This thing was deliberate. Deliberate in the sense that we still have 1 year to go. We don't want to miss the whole period of his administration of not getting something good to the north. So we issued this notice in order to awaken them, to tell them that look, we are still expecting, and they still have opportunity to do 1 or 2 things that will impact on the people. So if by the end of the day we are able to achieve this, it's a great achievement for us. But at the same time, we are telling them that Arewa of today is not Arewa of 2015. So a lot of things has changed, and the dynamics also has changed. So everybody will now have to come to the people and tell them what he has done with the opportunity given to him, with the mandate given to him, how much effort he has put in place to help, change our bad condition to a good one, or what has he done by omission or commission to move us progressively from bad to worse. So this is part of the information we want them to be aware of, and to be prepared that the 2019 is not going to be an easy one for anybody at whatever level of authority is occupying. You see, there are issue of education. Education must be given a priority. Today in Nigeria, the statistics is saying that we have over 12 million of children of school age who are out of school roaming the street. And out of these 12 million, the northern Nigeria is contributing about 11 million of them. So, and then if this is so, then you will now begin to wonder, why is it that the government should not be concerned about this alarming state of out of school children, which again it's like a time bomb. In the next 10 to 15 years, we are going to be reaping it. Where we have not also dealt with the issue of Boko Haram, the armed banditry in Zamfara and the rest of the places. So this is to say, if governments that you elected, you put your best to bring to office, cannot recognize this, it means it has failed. Secondly, in the area of economy, today the northern Nigeria economic base has totally collapsed, and one of it is farming. And because of this rural banditry, it has made it impossible for people to go to their farm. In every part of north, it has always been the case. When you go to the farm, you'll be kidnapped. Farmer-herder clash has also escalated it. So that is why you see a lot of people have been, displaced from their abode where they make livings. And then you now look at the issue of security, which has also deteriorated. So when people are not secured, they cannot think of coordinating, organizing themselves, and even plan for the future. And this is part of the consequence of what the government lack of attention to this very key area has cost our people. And today, you can see what we have never heard of, people even committing suicide in the northern part of Nigeria. And from both religion, is highly forbidden. Northerners and Nigeria should know that this leader we are electing them for a purpose. We are electing them to go and perform. Any government that cannot perform have no business, or any party that cannot perform have no business offering itself for re-elections. And you can also see that even from the democratic angle, a party that came under a popular vote like APC should have no fear at all of conducting an elections. So what stopped this party, for goodness sake, from doing the needful at the appropriate time? What make it impossible for congresses to be held in the states to elect new leaders who will spearhead the party to glory, towards by 2019? You can see there is a serious constitutional problem now, because you have refused to do what you need to do, and the time has come for those people to go, and you don't know what to do. And this thing is deliberate, because many of the governors have not performed, and they think the only way they can survive this storm is through an atmosphere of confusion, and they deliberately created this confusion. But unfortunately for them, this is a very fundamentally constitutional matters that if you ignore, the end result is that maybe the APC will not even be able to feed in candidates for 2019 elections. That is why you see they came hurriedly back to do this fire brigade approach, or what I will call damage control, which has again exposed the party for its democratic credentials, and to say that even as it stands today, despite the reversal, they are suffering legitimacy crisis, because many of the people who are there now, their tenure has ended. So any activities they are doing is null and void. Like in Kaduna State, for instance, it was the promise we made to the people as APC that in 3 months after taking office, we are going to conduct election into local government councils. And 3 years now, no election has been conducted. And the attempt we are making now, those who are now doing the primaries have no local standings to do it, because their tenure has expired. And to that extent, all the primaries conducted by these people is null and void. At the end of the day, even if the election is conducted, people will go to court and nullify it. So this is the unfortunate stage which these undemocratic practices of some of our politicians and people in position of authority has cost us, which is very unfortunate. So for Nigerians, I think we need to, we are wiser, and we also understand now that our PVC is a very veritable tool for us to fight our cause and bring about an enduring and people-oriented change that will impact us in all spheres of our lives.